Okay, everybody good? So, just start out by saying this is exactly what bowl games, why they are significant and important. Today's a really special day for our team, and, what a great environment, what a great place to host the game, and an outstanding opponent to compete against. And today we saw there was two very resilient, very competitive football teams. A ton of respect for Vanderbilt coming in even more so now. So just, can't say enough about them. Really proud of our guys, the effort that they exerted out there, the way they competed, and played it right to the end. Obviously, it was a hard-fought game. Both teams really going at it, and it's a great feeling, great way to end the season. We had 27 outstanding seniors on this football team, and those guys really took it over starting in January. And we've had some tough losses this year, but the one thing they've done is showed up and competed each and every time. So just really gratifying to see them walk out with a win, and Mark and representative all the guys we have. Mark's only been with us a little bit shorter than the other guys, but just fit right in, and just really happy for all the guys, happy for our entire team, our staff, but our fans, right down the line, but especially these seniors. I'll throw it out for questions.
Coach, talk a bit about the guy under center. He's a quarterback with a fullback mentality and a physique, but he also comes with 2 national championships. How does that fit?
I said yesterday, to me, you evaluate quarterbacks by how they move their teams and if they're winners or not, and that's kind of like a pitcher in baseball. And then the other component is to the players on the team believe in that player. And the good quarterbacks I've been around, that's what it is. There's all sizes, shapes, descriptions. Probably 2 of the better ones in the country playing today, in my opinion, against each other. Very different players, but very, just fit the bill of what I just described. And I can't say enough about Mark. He's just, at times, painful to watch him practice. Every now and then he'll do some things. I'm like, what, really? But when we get around the game field, he's a guy everybody believes in, coaches, players. Competes out there tooth and nail. And big part of the reason we won today was obviously his leadership and his impact on the game.
Coach, as you often do, the defense, succeeds big time. That's what happened in the first half. You got the lead. You got in Pavia's kitchen. I think you brought him to the ground about 4 times in that opening half.
Yep.
Talk about what was working so well with your pass rush.
That's how football is. Nobody wants to hear it, but it just, I'll share this with you. Going into the game, I was hoping for a Missouri score 17-10, with us being 17, not them. But I was kind of hoping maybe we could keep it that way. But they're a really explosive, dynamic team offensively. So, what a great first half for them on the offensive side. And to their credit, they made some adjustments. They came out, went a little tempo at times, and just got us on our heels a little bit. And it was tail 2 halves, but that's what makes football so interesting.
How about the effort of Carson? He had a huge first half too. It really helped get you guys going.
Yeah, he's one of those seniors. It hasn't started until this year, and we've had some really good linebackers at our place. One of them down here playing with the Buccaneers. But he's been an excellent special teams guy, and then certainly this year's played outstanding football. It's kind of fun to watch him. Because each week early in this season, once he started really figure out and know how to size things up, he started really playing effectively. So I'd say from 3rd, 4th game on, he's just been playing at a really high clip and just a really explosive football player.
Kirk, you've been making the 2008 comparison for a little while with one of your favorite teams.
Yeah.
With this team, is this result sort of complete that comparison in your mind?
It really does. I think the difference, again, as I alluded to, is just the teams that beat us. With all due respect to the teams that beat us in that season, but we'll see how it all turns out. I look at India, I look at Oregon as 2 of the best teams anywhere, and I think right now they're in the top 5. But if either one of them wins it all, it won't shock me at all. And I'm certainly no expert on that stuff. You guys watch more of it globally than I do, but just know this: being on the field, those 2 teams are really good. Southern Cal is not a bad football team either, and Iowa State was a highly ranked team when we played them. So. Each game was, those were all tough, hard fought, and you just play here, play there, and it's a different outcome. But that's football. And the good thing about our guys, they didn't look backwards. They just kept focusing on what the opportunities were in front of them. And so to beat a ranked team, a deservedly ranked team, a 10-win, SEC football team, that's really gratifying. Again, the seniors, everybody can feel good about that.
Coach, you said you're going to come back next season
Yeah.
How does a team like this kind of keep you young, I guess?
So I'll tell you what might drive me out. I was just thinking about that a little while ago. What might drive me out of coaching are the 5 hours before kickoff. No matter when you play, I figured it'd be pretty easy to do kickoff. But those 5 hours, that's when the monsters kind of appear and get in your head a little bit. Otherwise, I enjoy the whole week. There's something about it. But I do want to go back and set the record straight because I was asked that question at that press conference. And I said, yeah, I plan on being back. And then all of a sudden it looked like I made a proclamation, I'll be back. I never made a proclamation for the record. And I did answer the question, yeah, I'll be back for next season. I think my sights are a little further down the road than next season. But the powers to be able to decide that. So I feel great, enjoy what I'm doing. And, you get to work with, the people Mark's represent, the kind of people I work with on a daily basis and our staff, and I'm trying to keep our marriage together too, so I think all those things combined are going to all work out.
Kirk, back here, you and Clark both talked yesterday about how bowl games still matter, and especially today to see 2 starting quarterbacks not opt out and to both play. How important is that as well, that the fans and everyone got to see both starting quarterbacks, and it still matters to you guys?
College football has changed so much, and I've seen it for a long time. But if you got the right guys, it hasn't changed, and that's, again, what you enjoy about it. I'm not being accusatory or judgmental to anybody. We've created an environment, the adults, have created an environment, right? It's really hard right now for players. It's hard for the people that are raising those players. So if we're not careful, we're going to strip away what's really good about college football and what's great about competing. But one thing we believe in recruiting, what have you, if we look hard enough, there are guys out there, you just got to find the right one. And again, these 2 quarterbacks there may be representative, that they're not cookie cutter, 6'4" John Elway throw the ball guys, but both of them are just really good football players. And, I think there are a lot of guys on both teams that kind of maybe fit that bill. So, I'm hopeful we can get this thing under control a little bit, the global, college football situation, but we got some work to do, unfortunately.
Coach, here in the back, I want to ask a couple special teams related questions. First, been in coaching over 45 years. I want to know if you've ever seen a illegal kicking call after the punter crossed the line of scrimmage. Secondly, there were some special teams important plays today. I want to hear about if that's a fitting way for LeVar Woods to have his last game as special teams coordinator.
Yeah, it is. So for the record, I was more ticked off about us not having contain over there when the guy rolled to the right. Thank God we didn't. And I full disclosure, I didn't know the rule. The guy on our sideline didn't know the rule, and he said to me, you can go a generation or a career and not experience one of those. Also, for the record, Tyler Parker did know the rule, and he said on our headset we're going to get the ball, which, that was really great. But, LeVar's done a great job with our special teams for quite a while now. And, every play in special teams is, in my mind, really critical and important to the success of a football team. For us, it's always been that way. And just going right, I think it was our that last kickoff where they kind of blooped it down there, just getting possession right there was really critical. And that's not a routine play. So, LeVar's done a wonderful job, and he'll continue to do so. I know that.
Kirk,
Appreciate his efforts, too.
Kirk, you mentioned this multiple times, but one of the best parts that you said about getting to do a bowl game was the fact that you get an extra month with
Yep.
the team and you get to enjoy that extra month. What is this extra month meant for this group of seniors to be able to have those relationships with them, see them flourish, see them win the awards, and then now win a bowl game?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we enjoy, the being together and having a chance to, football, you think about it, I mean, we played 13 games since January, or since, September, August, when we got started there. So the time in football that you invest in working, compared to when, the chance to compete, it's not like Major League Baseball where you play 162. The time together working at it is so much more proportionally. So if you got guys that don't like each other or guys that don't like working, it's just, it doesn't work well. And that's, we're looking for those kinds of guys that really understand what it takes to be good and don't mind putting it in. And then the camaraderie that develops, typically, you've heard me say before, it usually takes months for that to really develop. But this group, starting in January, just had a little bit different vibe than maybe what we are used to. So, and it's really showed up on the field, which is a great thing.
Kirk, you always talk about the foundation as the offensive line, defensive line. Those 2 units probably played their best football today, I think.
Yeah.
Just can you speak to that and having the O-line up there on the stage with you guys?
That was more exciting. something else I like about quarterback, I like how quarterbacks understand linemen, help them out. And I always tell these guys, like, if you didn't have a center, you would never get the ball, so just shut up, all right? The center's the most valuable guy out there. But yeah, it speaks, I think, to the understanding our guys have of how things work. One thing depends on another, and yeah, if you're, and Clark said it yesterday, just, being good up front is really important in a conference like ours or a conference like the SEC. And unfortunately, as we move forward, we're going to graduate a lot of those guys. So now, the work begins to get some guys not necessarily grow up, but just kind of harden up a little bit more and be able to compete in a game like this one today, because it was a long day.
Coach, how has this team been different from any of the teams that you've coached?
Oh, I got 5 children. My wife and I have 5 children. It's hard to compare them because all you do is get in trouble. But it's been one of the most enjoyable teams I've ever worked with, and at any level, any time. Just had a special chemistry, and it would have been great to go undefeated. There's nobody to complain about that. But sometimes you learn more about people and teams, when it's not going well. And today was represented that. I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs today, but we responded. We responded. And some days it's the defense responding when it's not going great offensively, and vice versa. But that's the beauty of the game. And finding an answer, it takes the right people, and that's what these guys did a great job of today.
Just a couple more questions.
Yep.
Kirk, I guess after the Nebraska game, you said that this team deserved to kind of get that 8th regular season win. I guess now that, you guys have been wanting to get a ranked win, you guys have been closer and closest. But I guess how did this group kind of rally together for that one final stand? And I know how important this game was for you, so they could get that 9th win.
Yeah, so the word deserved or justice, those are strong words for like football, right? But it's just, as a guy watching, you just hope for good things to happen to guys that, deserve it. These guys certainly deserved it, and they finished the season, you had those 2 tough losses coming out of the last break, come back and win a game where it was hard as hell to win that thing, and then go out and, it ends up not being that challenging after we got going in that last game. And then you got the whole month of December, and speaking of monsters or, things in your head, it's such a long, drawn-out month. So, you're not focused on the game necessarily until about 9-10 days ahead. So you got to go through all those periods, and, it doesn't always look great, and just, all the stuff that you're worried about. But ultimately, and I tried to tell myself, like, it'll show up on the field how well we did or didn't do. So again, it goes back to these guys just, doing a good job, just, gradually just keep climbing and getting better. And I think it certainly showed up today out there on the field.
Coach, you came up with Clint Eastwood yesterday.
Not 97-year-old or however old he was. Yeah, not the young guy.
But
Yeah,
isn't that what football is, the good, the bad, and the ugly? And
yeah, no question. No question. I've seen it all, lived it all too. So today was good and beautiful. So anyway, yeah, it's all good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, let me introduce the MVP of this game, Mark Gronowski.
Great. Mark, as you're entering kind of an uncertain point in your football career, it seems uncertain to hear a legendary coach talk about you as, a representative of the thing that keeps him going in his craft. What's that mean for you?
Yeah, it means a lot, and I can't thank Coach enough for just giving me an opportunity to play here at the University of Iowa. It's been a fantastic year. Obviously, it hasn't gone exactly how we wanted it to. There's been a lot of ups and downs, emotional games, but to have a coach like that who builds a culture that we have, it's been a lot of fun and made a lot of great relationships along the way.
Mark, I found yourself grow just as a player throughout this season.
Yeah, one of the main reasons I came here was because of Coach Lester. He brings a lot to the game. He's a former quarterback, has been in the NFL coaching-wise, and has coached in a lot of different places. So he's taught me a lot about just continuing to be aggressive in the game, continue to be aggressive on pass plays. And there's just been a lot of growth just with growing with the receivers, growing with the guys in the team, and not just in the game of football, but just trying to build relationships, trying to build an even stronger culture, trying to build a stronger standard for the offense, and knowing that obviously get to every goal that we had every single week, but we're continuing to strive for that. And I feel like this year we continue to build another standard that can lead on to the next year.
Mark, I talked to your parents after the game, and I understand today's your dad's birthday. You brought him over the game ball. Just how special is this after a lengthy college career to be able to do that with them in the front row of the field?
Yeah, it was really cool. Back when, first grade, kindergarten, when I started playing football, he was my first coach. It's been a long career. Probably played catch with him for the first time. Walking off the field in my college career, got to play a little catch with him on his birthday, which was just kind of very meaningful. He's been in every single game my entire career, and can't thank him enough for all the support he's given me, the rest of my family has given me. It was just a really cool moment to win that game, especially for him on his birthday.
Mark, how'd you get that fumble back?
Yeah, one thing I should have done, it was an RPO where I should have ended up just telling the back to not worry about the handoff and go block that guy, but I ended up doing it anyway. Got the strip sack. I saw his body bounce up in the air along with the ball, and I just saw a quick second, then I was able to stick my arm in there, get my arm over the top of it, and underneath those piles, you don't want to know what happens under there. But I just fought for every inch at that moment, and was able to get the ball back there.
Mark, what did you learn DJ Bonamy today? Just how's that connection work?
Yeah, he's been awesome, and obviously I've kind of mentioned him a lot throughout any of these press conferences, and he's a guy that was a walk-on last year, and he's just been growing every single day, and I think he even started as maybe the 4th or 5th string this fall camp, but he's continued to work, he's continued to get better, stay after and get extra reps with me after practice, and meet with us and watch film together, and he's just been growing and growing and growing, and it's been really awesome to see, and obviously he played an awesome game today. He was deserving of the MVP as well, and I'm just really excited to continue to see how much he grows in the next year or 2 years that he has left here.
Winning 2 national championships as a Jackrabbit, how did that prepare you to come to Iowa and the Big Ten?
Yeah, we played in a lot of big games throughout my career, and played a lot of great teams, and played with a lot of great players as well, and a lot of people that I learned from, and how to be a better leader, how to be a better teammate, how to get through tough wins, and how to win too. And it's not always easy to continue to win, continue to stay confident, to always be working hard throughout all the practices. So there's been a long road. I've learned a lot from it, and it kind of really helped me set up the way that this Iowa culture is, and a lot of it is just a lot of close people, a lot of great relationships, and guys that are willing to work hard every single day. So kind of coming into a culture like that, it was very almost seamless for me to come in here and work with so many great people, build those great relationships, and we were able to show it on the field as well.
So what are you going to remember in years from now about this year that you spent with the University of Iowa and learning from Coach Ferentz?
Yeah, this is one of the universities that I always looked up to, and was always watching growing up as a kid. And it was just a great opportunity to get a chance to play here, play for the Big Ten, best conference in the country. And it is just, there's so many different memories that I'm going to remember, and just being here at Iowa. The fans have been awesome. All the support staff that we have here have just been helping me along the way and just done a great job of that. I can't put my finger on one thing that is going to be the most memorable thing, but this opportunity that I was given, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Mark, was there ever a point early on this season when you had some injuries and you had some early season struggles where you said to yourself, man, I don't know if this is going to work out, this move? And if so, how did you overcome that? How did you keep the faith?
Yeah, I know with the injuries and even some of the short season struggles, or beginning of the season struggles, I don't think that thought ever really crossed my mind at all. We have so many great people here that, they have that no quit mentality. They always want to play for the guy next to them. There's so much love amongst this team that everyone wants to make everybody better, especially even at practice. So having the faith and having the confidence of all the guys that they still continue to believe in me, even though with some of those shortcomings at the beginning of the year, I can't thank them enough for continuing to believe in that and continuing to believe in the offense, and we continue to push through and we're able to respond and be the reason in a couple games this year, which is really awesome to see from this from this offense, and continue to build that standard.
Mark, how about the Wigan play?
Yeah. How did you guys know that's what it was called? But yeah, no. It was an awesome opportunity that we got. I was happy that Coach called it. We've been running it all week in practice, and then again, another shout out to Wigan Penn. Scoring a touchdown on a play like that, it was really fun, and I mean, DJ also made a great play on that one as well. You know, being able to jump up and make a catch over a defender. It was a great way to kind of start off. I guess that was the second half, I believe. Yeah.
With how much college football you've played in your life, how much you've played this sport, what did it mean to turn around, tip your cap to the Iowa fans before you headed out?
Yeah, it's always an emotional time when you're coming off the field for the last time. Obviously, I'm not going to be playing another college football game, and to play so many games, there's so many different memories and so many different people that I've met along the way that have just made a huge impact on my life. And it just not only just a tip of the cap to the fans, but a tip of the cap to the game as well. You know, there's games given me so much, so many friendships, so many life lessons that I'll really cherish for a lifetime. Thank you, guys.
Iowa players are available in the interview area. Pass the photo.